Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. We'll be studying the saga of a Godman, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So before that, let us start with this pranam mantra. Sarva dharma sthapakastam sarva dharma sarupaka Acharyanam Mahacharyo Ramakrishnayate Namaha Ramakrishnayate Namaha. Salutation to you, O Ramakrishna, reinstator of all religions, the embodiment of all religions, the great master among all masters. Friends, the last week, we were reading, we have not yet reached to that main topic, the biography of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Before that, the author, preparing our mind, that he mentioned about the God. What is God? Then last week we were discussing the God is Ishvara, and that Samadhipada, 24th mantra, it says, Klesha, Karma, Vipaka, Ashaya, Aparamishta Purusho Vishesha Ishvara. The Ishvara, he must be having these qualities. What is that? As a supreme ruler, a special Purusha untouched by the misery, klesha. Now, what are the klesha, miseries? Again, they make so many other groups. Klesha means first is avidya. What is the suffering, the cause of suffering? Ignorance. Avidya. Then asmita. Now, about the avidya, the ignorance, there's a sometimes, that in this country, particularly in America, where the warm water that goes through the whole wall and makes the room warm, that creates peculiar sound. Those who don't know, they will be in great trouble. So if you don't know, there's the water passing and creating some sound as if somebody is whispering or whistling, then as if, so naturally, if you are ignorant about that, whole night you won't be able to sleep. So avidya, ignorance, is the cause of suffering. Asmita, asmita again, our ego. Then raga, raga is attachment. Dvesha, aversion. Vinibesha, fear of death. So this is a klesha. The pancha klesha, this pancha klesha. Then karma. The karma means action, good and bad action. And there, vipaka, result of the karma, good and bad. Also, ashaya means desire. These things are completely absent in Ishvara. Those who claim that they have realized God, they have to prove in their life, they need not to prove to others, to themselves, whether they are free from these five things or not. So this Ishvara or the Bhagavana, of course, Ishvara another status, but these are the five things they must have, free from misery, free from any action, free from naturally from the result of that action, and there is no desire. In another, he says that this is also as a definition of the Ishvara, Tatra niratishayam sarvagatya bijam. In him becomes infinite that all knowingness, sarvagyatya. Now, in that Ishvara, those who are claiming that we have realized God, we are Ishvara, we are Bhagavan, then their devotees also say that they are our Bhagavan. Okay, but is he having the knowledge of everything? When it was created, why it was created, after that what is going to happen, everything. Sarvajnatya Bijam. Not only one thing, about everything. Sarvajnatya. So that is the second. Third, Purvesham api Guru Kalena Avachedat. Now the question will come, if he is having the knowledge, from whom he has learned. Has he learned from his guru? From his guru like that? It is not. They are always having that knowledge. Kalena avacheda. Time cannot stop that. At that time he knew, this time he is not knowing. It cannot be. The Ishvara, the God, is having that knowledge right all through. Friends, we are going to know the life of a God-man, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Bhagavan means God. So obviously, we have to know the first thing, definition of God. And if we don't keep this in mind, we won't be able to understand. There are so many people claiming like that. But you have to prove, because this is called Shastra Vakya. In the Patanjal Yogadarshan, they give in this way that Tatra Niratishayam Sarvajnatya Bijam Purvesham Api Guru Kalena Avachedat. This is the 26th aphorism. And then, how to express? And the 27th aphorism, it says, Tasya Vachaka Pranava. Now, this is a new thing, Pranava. Pranava means Omkara. Those who have gone to the Hindu temple or don't know about Hindus, all the time they will be saying Om. The Om, 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 they always say like that. Why the Om? Because that is the symbol of the God. Why? Swami Vivekananda, he gave a wonderful explanation. This Om is not created by any sound. When we are creating any sound, we need two things. But this is the only original natural sound. It is just rolling out. It is not creating like the other sounds. It says, represent the A, U, A-U-M, Om, A-U-M, A-U-M. And what is this A, the first letter, or the A? The very first letter is the root sound, the key, pronounced without touching any part of tongue or palate. This is very important. When we are talking, if you notice, tongue is touching the palate, and then the sound is creating. Any sound we are creating, it needs two things. Omkara is the only sound, it doesn't need any other things. Obviously, it is the Vachaka, it is the symbol, not that Omkara is the final. It is the symbol. We can say it is like this. When we talk about milk, we always compare it the whiteness. Milk is always white. So milk is white. When there is a white liquid thing, we always compare, oh, this is like milk. The Omkara is the Vachaka, it symbolizes. Why? God is self-created. Its knowledge self-created. Its power self-created. And it is eternal. It never changes. This God will take a human form. That is the story we are going to know and learn. So obviously, if we don't have the writer, he could start, oh, on such and such day, this man was born. No, he's preparing our mind because this is very important. He is going to talk about a God-man, not an ordinary person. And what is this God? Definition of God is this. Tasya vachaka pranava. Lastly, how we will know? He is giving the example like the Omkara. And the Omkara is accepted by all Hindus. You know, among the Hindus there are different sects are there. All are Hindus. All they believe in Veda. All they believe the God is there. But the God may be different in their views. But they don't fight. My God is my God, your God is your God, like that. But they, all of them, they accept Omkara. And it says, the first letter is the root sound, the key, pronounced without touching any part of the tongue or the palate. M is the last. A-U-M. The M is the last. It represents the last sound in the series, being produced by closed lips. Even the lips are not moving. No sound is created by two things or moving anything. When we close our lips and say, that is called ma. Om. That is the way the vibration comes. And when it vibrates, your mind becomes calm. If one can really utter the Om properly, A, U, Ma, A, U, M, the A, it begins without any touching anything, and it says it is coming from the navel, and then slowly rolling upwards, and then it's a U rolls from the very root to the end of the sounding board of the mouth. Om. Om, the lips are closed. This is the symbol of God. And by that we can understand God. No one has created God. But sometimes people, they always ask who has created God and all these things. So no one has created God. So after this, the God will come. But the thing is, we can say in this way, why God should take the human form? Then in the Shiva's devotees and the Kali's devotees, Krishna's devotees, all they say about the Shiva, it says in this way, sadhakasya tu rakshartham tasya rupam idam smritam. Smritam means imagine. In the Hinduism, there are so many gods and goddesses, so many different forms. Why? Option is there. If you like this particular character, this particular qualities, this particular form, just put your mind on that. Concentrate on that. That is the most important thing. And if you are concentrating on your mind on a particular object which is divine, like the goddess Durga, the beautiful lady, and she is all power, she is having, pervading everything. That's why 10 hands, everywhere she is. Goddess Kali, she is breaking the darkness. Darkness is the symbol of ignorance. That's why the Kali is worshipped in the night. She's breaking the ignorance. Power is coming. What is power? Knowledge. Sometimes people think the magical power will come by worshipping Kali. Many they worship Kali thinking the magical power will come. Nothing like that. Magical power is nothing. If you are controlling your mind, it will automatically come. But what you are going to do with that? It is the knowledge. What is that knowledge? I am God. That is the knowledge. I am the divinity. As the Lord Jesus, he said, I and my Father in heaven are one. That oneness. We are not separate. And here it says that I am not a son. I am that. In Hinduism, they say, I am that. And what is that consciousness? And how to realize that? This is the process. Now the question is, we will come through the stages. The writer, Swami Saradananda Ji Maharaj, he is taking our mind slowly, slowly. He is mentioning that God is coming. Who is God? We have already heard from the Patanjali. And why the God is taking the form? Because he loves the devotees. That is the reason it says it's as because he loves the devotees. And in other way also it says, in the Shiva they say, Shadakasya tu rakshartam tasya rupam idam smritam. Bhaktanam anukampartham brahmana rupa kalpana. In another place it says, Bhaktanam, It's not for ordinary people, not all people. Bhakta, who is Bhakta? Who has a faith that there is God, who is striving to realize God. For them, it says that God takes human form. Bhaktanam anukampa. Anukampa means for the kindness of that, because he loves them. And for that, he is coming down and taking the form. Bhaktanam anukampartam Brahmana. What is Brahman? All-pervasive consciousness. Rupa. Again, the word kalpana. Here it says Shiva smritam, imagination. Oh, Shiva is white, Shiva is this, matted hair, like this, like this. And the Brahmana, all-pervasive consciousness, that has also taken some form. What type of form? Oh, Rama. He is in the form of Rama. He is in the form of Krishna. He is in the form of Sri Ramakrishna. So we are imagining the God has come in that way. And why God cannot come as we come? That is the discussion he started in the chapter 1. It says the need of the age. And today we are reading, do we need God's incarnation? Why we need God's incarnation? First, who is God? Second, why he incarnate? Now, do we need that? Before that, I like to remind you, many of you know, almost all of you, and today is the birthday of the great devotee Hanumanji. Today is the Hanuman Jayanti. Swami Vivekananda was very fond of the Hanuman. Hanuman is not the monkey that we see on the branches of the trees and the jungles, no. They were the human being, mainly lived in the forest and in the hills. And the hilly tribe, we can say, very strong physically, and particularly this person, this Hanumana, and he was a great scholar also, scholar of Vedanta. He studied all the subjects. And not only that, his father was a king. So he too was a king. His physical power, unlimited physical power, because he developed the mystical power too. Because through meditation, he got that mystical power. He could make his body huge, like a hill, and could make it like a small, like a just ant or something like that, very small. That was his power. And he could fly. Oh, this magical powers he was having because of the yogi. He was a great yogi. He was a Gyani. He was a Karmi. He was a great worker. At the same time, he was a devotee. And devotee of the Supreme Lord, whom he found in the form of Sri Ramachandra. Now, we are coming to the story of a man who is God. And when Sri Ramachandra, he was known to almost each and every one, even the scholars, that he was the son of a king Dasharatha. This Hanuman, he recognized he is not an ordinary human being. He is the Supreme Lord, that Shuddha Brahma Paratpara Ram. In the afterwards we say, he is the pure of the pure, purest of the pure. And he is the Brahman, all-pervasive consciousness. Para apara, he is everywhere. This world and the other worlds, everywhere. And that is Sri Rama. When you think of the Rama, that the son of a Dasharatha, and he is very strong and going to fight with the Ravana, he is not that limited thing. He is the supreme being. But he has taken that human form. Friends, this, if we can understand, it will be easy for us to understand that why God takes the human form. The Ravana story we all know, almost all over the world now, is very famous, the Ravana. Children, they also read the book, movies are there. This Ravana is the representative of all bad things. What is bad? Ego. In one word, we can say ego is the only bad thing. Otherwise, I am going to help a person. Is it bad? No. Or I am going to rectify someone as the teachers they do in the classrooms. Is it bad? No. is always necessary. The mothers, they are always trying to rectify their children. Are they bad? No. But when we do that with the ego, that is very bad. So obviously, what is bad? Ego. What is that ego? That consciousness when gets only associated with the body, that is very peculiar. Consciousness, which is the ultimate thing, when gets associated with this particular body, I am Swami Ishatmananda. But before my birth, I was not Ishatmananda. After my death, where I will be? And before this, at this present, when I was born, I was a little baby. Then I am growing, the body is changing. How can I be this body? Constantly changing, every day. Thousands of from the body molecules are dying. So naturally, every day I am aging, I am becoming old. Every day things are changing, but I am associated with this body. As long as I am ignorant about that, that is called ajnana, and that is called ahamkara. The same thing, the moment I change and say, I am that illumined one, not this body, not this mind, not this limitedness, I am the ever conscious being which is all pervasive. Then you are a Buddha. Then you are a Christ. Then you are that God Supreme. So, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Supreme Being. So, how it is possible to go the path of the Hanumanji? He was a great scholar. He knew all this truth. But what he did, constant judging, that I should be humble. Most of the people, when they know a little, immediately they will be boasting. Because of their boastfulness, they lose the merit. If they come forward and help others and do some work in the society without boastfulness, same work will become service, unselfish work, and that will give him more merit. At the same work you are doing with I am doing, and nobody can do it, I am not allowing anybody to do it, all the names and will come to me, everybody in the newspaper, my picture should be there, you are a sinner, is a Ravana. So this only difference. Ravana was a highly educated person, and he meditated for many, many years. That means he was having the control. But only one loophole, only one weakness. I am the powerful one. So Hanumanji and the Ravana, if we keep side by side, Ravana was also having the knowledge, a beautiful, powerful body. And not only that, people used to say that he was having the intellect of 10 people. So Dashamunda means head. Munda means heads. The 10 human heads together, that one person. 10 intellectual people together is one person, that is Ravana. Not that he is actually having 10 heads, that is the imagination. He was very intelligent person, powerful person. He was a devotee of Shiva. All good things were there. But only that ego, whatever I want, I must get it. And I am the supreme. That make him all this. Not only for him, he created problem for all people. So the egoistic people, if you are, maybe they are educationally very good looking, very well a speaker, very influential speaker, but if you follow them, you are going to in trouble. That is the plain and simple thing. So you have to be clear and you have to be clever to understand whom I am going to follow. So in one place the Ravana, another is Hanumanji. Swami Vivekananda said, follow Hanumana. Why? Same knowledge, same power, everything was there. But he was humble. Why humble? He knew the truth. And what is the truth? This body doesn't belong to me. But you know, Hanuman, they say, he never dies. It's not the physically, but the faith never dies. His services never dies. His knowledge never dies. So he is eternal. The Hanuman is an ideal that if you have the knowledge and if you have the capacity to work and you are humble, never claiming that I have done it, then what you will get? Ramapadaraja. They said the supreme being, that the dust of his feet, holy feet. And what will happen? You will become immortal. People will never forget you. When they are worshipping the Supreme God as Rama, each and every place they are worshipping the Hanuman also. They don't worship the Sita or the Lakshmana or Bharata, Shatrughna. No, they are sometimes in the picture and sometimes only Rama. But Hanuman is always there in a separate seat. And without the Hanumana Rama puja will never be. So that is the thing, you are always with the God. That now here, the writer, he is introducing this, the why this incarnation is necessary. And in that need of the age, page number 13, it says thus, for the last 400 years, men in the West have accepted only those things in the universe which could be investigated through five senses. I'm not reading the whole chapter. It says that there are a different type of people and the different way they're trying to understand. Now here it says, in the West, education developed. But the one mistake they did, they thought only with the five organs, whatever we perceive, that is the only knowledge. So naturally, in the Eastern philosophy also, there was one person who was very intelligent, and he also said that in this life, only life is there. Previously, what it was, we don't know, and don't care about the afterwards. Enjoy in this life. They call Charvaka theory, philosophy. Charu means very attractive. Baka is the words. So when they say, enjoy this life, what happens afterwards, who cares? And sometimes when we see the Western movies, they say, meet you in hell. He is also a bad person, he is killing another bad person. So he welcome him, meet you in hell, not in heaven, because he knows he will go to hell. And the person he is going to fight is also a bad person, will meet you in hell. So that is clear. But that way, when it is we say, and what happens? We go to hell. And what is hell? Suffering, suffering, and suffering. Mentally, physically, we suffer. And what is heaven? Enjoyment. How it is possible, heaven and hell? Only thought. If we understand these, everything is over. And some people always trying to bullying on you, and okay, no problem, what do you want, Give up. But ultimately, you will be happy. Those who are trying, thinking that they are all very happy, no, they cannot be, because their desire will make them suffer. But you don't want that, no problem, it is okay for me. And you avoid those company, go away, and then you will automatically get some good companies. It is natural. You think in a positive way, friends will come who are also of the same mentality. You will go to that company where all people are good people, trying to become good, like that. And if you do some bad work, slowly, you will be going downwards. Maybe he stole something, a little thing, then he goes to the jail, and then from there comes to the bad thing. Afterwards, he becomes a dacoit and a murderer. So same way, if you are coming and helping a person and then coming to a holy place and then meeting the holy people and then controlling your mind. So the Saradananda ji giving the how it happened. Education started in both the places, in the West and the East. East little early, west little afterwards, because of the weather, nature. And but how that education, Eastern people, they understood that all the external things that we find through 5 organs: the eye, the nose, the tongue, the touch, and the taste. These are the 5 things we are having. We multiply it with the help of the machines. I cannot see the star, then I made a machine, I can see the star very clearly. And by that way, multiplying only these 5 organs. Any science, you go, see, only these 5 things. And if they say chakshu, karna, nasika, jihva, and tak. This is the eye, then the nose, and those who are chemistry, if they don't have the sharp nose, they won't be able to be a good student of chemistry. You have to find out what is the smell, or this is this is that. And same with the sound. Immediately they will understand something is there. So obviously the taste also, the tea taster, I have seen in Assam, I was there, the tea taster, their job only going on drinking tea. Just tasting a little. Immediately it's good, this is bad. For us it is almost same. But they say, no, this is good, this is bad, this is this is that. So these 5 organs, West, they only thought these 5 organs, whatever we find, that is final. That is the mistake. And Swami Saradananda says, thus, for last 400 years, men in the West have accepted only those things in the universe which could be investigated through 5 senses. Within that period, physical science outgrew the mystics and limitations of its infancy and entered upon its youth, characterized by energy, optimism, enthusiasm, and love of power. So, how he analyzed. Then it says, could not lead men to the knowledge of Atman, but this knowledge couldn't lead to the Atman. What is Atman? That is the source of happiness. When we see, when we touch, when we taste, you cannot, a little happiness, then afterwards nothing. You go to visit some good place, then you are there enjoying. Afterwards, when you come back, you're home, that's super. Only afterwards you have to open your maybe album and see the photographs and remembering, that's all. Your happiness ends in there and slowly fades away. But if you go inside with your mind and know about your own self, which is the Atman, is a source of joy. Those who practice meditation and have become little successful in meditation can control the mind. They don't listen to any sound, no smell, no sight, only within their heart. They are not visiting anywhere, sitting in corner of a room. But they get so much joy, they don't like to go anywhere. And that is the reason all these holy people, they go to the caves. But in modern time, it is not necessary. And particularly this America, almost now even today, everywhere it is so quiet. So obviously you can utilize this quietness and loneliness and try to meditate what is happening. But in the beginning, be careful. Don't be hours together. Don't sit like that. Then slowly you have to control your mind. And he says, but those things, that knowledge of the Atman, they could not. For the only way to attain the knowledge is through self-control. And if we are going to realize the Atman is through self-control, selflessness, and introspection, and the only instrument for attending it, the mind, with all its functions brought under absolute control. Who is going to control your mind? Your mind. That is the problem. If the doctor could control our mind, then there is no problem. If the guru could control your mind, then there is no problem. It is only you have to do. It is your own fight and you have to fight. It is your own war. And that's why in the Hinduism and almost in all religion you'll find there's always the fighting between the devil and the God. Ashura and the Deva. Hindus they say Ashura, and the Western they say the devil or the shaitan and something like that. So Ahura Mazda, there is also another conception that good and bad. So obviously it is good and bad. Where from it is coming? From our mind, own mind. We blame others, but it is my mind. It is thinking very narrow way and becoming very cruel. And what is happening? And that we suffer for that. It says, West could not do that because it is easy to go out. You go for hunting, you're doing lot of trouble you are facing. When the people, they go for hunting, life risk. Even sometimes the photographer, they go to the jungle and then observing the animals, very risky. But that they can do. Months together they will be in one place lying down and catching the photo. And then afterwards when it is presented, we are all appreciating. But it is so much tough. Ask him to sit in one corner of the room and close his eyes and observe his own mind. Impossible. He won't be able to do that. I have seen people with a fishing rod sitting hours together to catch a fish. And afterwards a tiny little fish will come. But even then, maybe 3, 4, 5 hours they were sitting. Ask them, hey, when you are sitting over there, why don't you meditate? But that you won't do. You'll be going on sipping coffee or this and that, looking at. And this is the way they spend time. So hard to control the mind. The Swami very clearly says, to go to Atman, to realize Atman, how we can go over there, the only way to attain the knowledge of the Atman is through self-control. What is a self-control? Your mind will be provoking, oh no, now it is time that we should go out. Oh no, this is happening, I should think in that way. Self-control. Whatever you are seeing, whatever you are hearing, whatever you are reading, whatever you are listening, all these things are the food of the mind. And in the Hindus are very careful about the food, but unfortunately, some people, they always think the food means what we eat. They'll be so careful about the thing that we eat. Oh, who has touched this food and who has cooked it, how they have cooked, with what water they have cooked, when it will be, we will take, they are spending hours on that. It's the wrong thing. Food is very little influence on the mind. It is for the body only, for the sustenance of the body. You go to any doctor, they will say, when you are taking the rice, how it is breaking in the body and how many things are happening. It is for the body. But what is the food of the mind? Friends, you must listen to and take care of it. Otherwise, hours together, lives together we are trying, but we are not reaching anywhere because of the wrong understanding. I only drink milk, I don't eat anything else. You will never reach anywhere. Even the calf is only drinking milk. Where it is going? I eat only fruits. These monkeys are only eating fruits. Birds are only eating those things. Where they are going? We have to understand the food of the mind is not the food that we only take through the mouth. It is the eye that we see. It is the word that we hear. It is the thing that we touch. It is the smell also. So these are the things you have to self-control and then selflessness. If you have ego, you cannot be at the company of others. Forget about God realization. You have to live with a different type of people, but without being associated or contaminated or getting entangled with that. You have to. Just leaving everyone and living alone You are thinking that you have become very holy. No. Where is the test? Test is this. That is why the Lord Buddha said, Shangham Sharanam Gacchami. It's the Shanga, is the association. That is the test. That is the chemical test. When we leave all together different type of mentality, different type of attitude, different way of expression. But you have to save yourself. This is my way. I will go through this. Someone will say, oh, knowledge is the only path. Other paths are useless. Okay, no problem. Go ahead. Some will say, no, only meditation. Don't be here. Go to the jungle. So you go and realize God. But I will be here. Shangam Saranam Gacchami. There will be so many different type of people. And Swami Vivekananda said, after making this Ramakrishna Shanga, he said, this Shanga is the body of the God. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, body of the God. Don't harm it anyway. If you cannot help, okay, but don't try to harm it. By saying bad words about the these and that, it is not good. Because that then you will lose everything. That is the curse, the only curse Swami Vivekananda made us aware of. The Shanga means that is the test. You have to live together. And when you know best and you know this is the correct thing, but your superior will say, hey, no, don't do this. Do as I say. What happens? Your ego will go away. Okay, no problem. This is the job that I am supposed to listen to him. I will listen to him. And that is the way. When we were at training center, then naturally to teach all this, then one of the teachers, he used to, very young, he used to say, see, this is the job when we are monks. We have not come for the job. Whatever they ask us to do, we should do that. And then suppose your superiors say that you cut the tail of in Hinduism, the bali, they say, and the goat, and you're supposed to cut the goat properly. Well, no, you cut the tail. Cut the tail to offer. No one will do that. But obviously, don't bother about that. What is going to happen? That is his business. Because he is in charge. He is asking you to do, just like the soldiers. First to obey. And then you can come and say, Sad, you are telling like this. Can we change in this way? Why? You are humble. Exactly the life of Hanumanji. Hanumanji could do anything. He alone could bring back Ma Sita from Sri Lanka. All this war was not necessary. Half the war he alone fought. He could finish that war, but he didn't do that because the glory should go to Sri Rama. That is the main thing. So Swamiji is mentioning over here, to reach to the goal, and that is the Atman, you have to self-control, selflessness, introspection. Why people are not liking me? Why people are liking me? Why these things are not becoming successful? Why I cannot reach over there? You should judge yourself. And in the modern time, they always say, there will be always a paper, give yourself some marks. Suppose 15 marks, how much about yourself you are putting? Are you a good person? Are you good? So you have to give the marks. Like that, introspection, self-introspection. Every night before going to sleep, you have to sit on the bed and say, whether I was a good person today, did I think wrong thing today, and the negative thoughts, how many times it came, why I became angry, why I behaved like that. The moment you are going on recapitulating your faults, it will be lesson. Next day you will never do that. You will hesitate to do that. You are helping yourself. You are becoming finer and finer. Introspection, and the only instrument to attain it is the mind. So one must be very careful about the mind with all its functions brought under absolute control. Being attracted only by external objects, they miss the path of self-knowledge, and identifying themselves with the body become materialistic. identify with the body only. That is why they regard worldly enjoyment all important and make a special effort to obtain it. After careful thought, certain people in the West have at last come to realize that the knowledge obtained through the senses will not enable them to discover the reality beyond time and space. Science gives them a fleeting indication of its existence, but nothing more. A feeling of utter helplessness has come over men, and there is a growing lament in their hearts because of the overthrow of the God on whom they depended for all their strength and power, and through whose grace they enjoyed splendor and prosperity. It's a India as a whole venerated as the Guru, Ganga, Gayatri, Gita. These 4G that saved India. They always say the 4G. G is Guru, Ganga, Gayatri, and Gita. Gayatri is the mantra, a mantra of the sun. It is scientific. Anyone helping me, I should be grateful. If the gratefulness is not there, that means you are you're not a human being. The sun is giving us the light, and because of the sunlight, everything is surviving. Without sunlight, we all will die. We know that sun is nothing but a star, but still the Hindus, because of the light that everything is surviving, they gave him the highest respect as God. And then every morning they will be praying to the sun, Jaba Kushuma Shankasham Kashyapiyam Mahadutim. You are the splendor because of your rays, because of your light. We are all surviving, and by that way they will be respecting the sun. Hindus are not fools. They know this is a star, but the grateful nation. And the same way the Ganga right from the Himalaya, it goes up to the Bengal and then mixing with the ocean. And the almost whole length, the India is becoming fertile because of this Ganga. So they also respect the Ganga as the living goddess, the mother. Different stories that was fabricated so the ordinary people can remember it. And they will never contaminate the water in a bad way. Rather, scientists only, after knowing science and there. But this is the only way that says Guru. Guru is the preceptor. Guru is a person always helping you to understand the truth. Then the Ganga, that's the river, is a life flow, and also giving you the water. And that is the Gayatri is the mantra. Remembering the sun and praying, you also make my heart lighted as you are lighting everything. Then the Bhagavad Gita. The Gita is a book that combined all the yogas and ask you to help yourself. Urdharet atmana atmanam na atma abusadayet. Don't depend on others. You like to realize God? Depend on yourself. And what is the way? Control my mind. That my Guru has said, this is the mantra I will continuously do. No other thoughts I will allow in my mind. And let me concentrate on the object that has been given by my Guru. The Gita teaches that. Then what for the society, development of the society, expecting nothing against it. That's a karma yoga. Then jnana yoga, then dhyana yoga, then bhakti yoga. All these four. This 4G, the Guru, the Ganga, the Gayatri, and the Gita. Then it says Ramayana and Mahabharata also influenced their mind. And the language, the Sanskrit language, the language of gods, was the common medium of expression for the learned people. There are many other similar factors of unity, and there is no doubt that religious ideas and religious practice continued the bedrock of that unity. sometimes not understanding clearly the Western scholars who researched on India, they mentioned the Indians, they could not communicate with each other because of the language. That's true. India has so many languages, so many. It is a subcontinent, but still and it is united. If you go to the southern India, every state has its own language and they don't understand each other. But if you go to the border of India, the people, the soldiers, those who are protecting India, if you ask them to talk among themselves in their own mother tongue, they may not be able to communicate. They have a common language now, the Hindi. But in ancient time, with these, they were united. Why? There was a common lingua franca, that is Sanskrit. All educated people used to know Sanskrit. When the Ramachandra went to meet the Ravana, some people, they say it is the invasion of the Aryans to the non-Aryans on Arya, the educated people going to the uneducated people. If that is so, how the Ravana talked with Rama? In which language? Were they were having the people to translate? No. They talked because both of them were educated, so they know the language. Ravana's brother came. Hanumanji came and talked with the Rama. How they could talk? Not only that, much afterwards, then our Gujarat as the western end of India. From there, one prince, young man, he went all the way to the east in Assam to marry a very beautiful girl of that king. How they could know about the information? From both ends. And when this young boy went with his friends to marry that girl without the permission of his father, then how they talked to each other? Language was there. That's why Swamiji is telling, this is the language of the gods, the Sanskrit. It's a common language. And religion and all these practices. Religion, the basis of national life in India, made her civilization unique. The chief characteristics of this civilization was self-control, which regulated both individual and national conduct. Now, this was the past. That's why he is telling again and again. In India, if any unknown person comes to your door, you are supposed to worship him. Atithi Devo Bhava. That is the training. That is the teaching. That is the way the national life grew up. Now somebody is coming, immediately you are suspecting, oh, he's a bad person. Why? Because the things have changed. Our ideas have changed. But previously it was nothing like that. Even when we were children, we have seen the seniors, they used to wait. If someone is there outside hungry, then they will go and search if nearby anyone hungry. They will first provide the food to that person, then they will come and eat. By that way it grew. That was the national life. So that's why Swamiji is mentioning the whole civilization grew up with this self-control. A Hindu always oriented towards this grand goal. It is for this reason that the caste and the class system did not for a long time create any conflict of interest and prevented the growth of discontent in society. When anyone could achieve supreme knowledge or liberation by the unselfish performance of his own caste or class duties, irrespective of his birth, high or low, what could possibly be his cause for discontent? It says that in India, even the lowest caste, if he is realizing God, the Brahmana will come and touch his feet. There is nothing like that. Whether he is having the certificate of a great university or not, it doesn't matter at all. Whether he is from a very high caste family or not, it doesn't matter at all. He has realized God. So any God-realized people, that's why in India, the Gerua-clad people are highly respected. So that should not be used for any other purposes. Sometimes some people, they use the Gerua for begging or sometimes cheating people. That should not. You should not do that. So this is it goes. We will conclude over here. Coming more and more under the spell of the West, India rejected the ideal of renunciation and self-control and began to run after worldly pleasures. This attitude brought with it the decay of the ancient system of education and training. And there arose atheism, love of imitation, and lack of self confidence. Thus, the nation lost its backbone. People came to believe that their long cherished beliefs and practices were erroneous, and they felt that perhaps their traditions were crude and semi civilized. That is the way the Britishers, they ruled India. 200 years they ruled. Indians, basically, they were educated. Not the education that we think, the certificate based. They were inside, they were very qualified people and very self contented people, and self respected. How come they lost all that? Because of this. The Britishers never broke any temples. They never changed anything. But what they did, they broke our self-confidence. Oh, you Indians, you are not having anything. All that is good is coming from the Europe. We brought these things. Aryans, they all our ancestors. They came all the way from Europe. Our scholars also accepted that. Oh, your great books, Ramayana and Mahabharata. That is, of course, at the best we can say it is like the Iliad and Odyssey. Oh, that is great. They are giving us the great respect, Iliad, Odyssey. Ramayana, Mahabharata, our Itihasha. So Swami is bringing us to that condition. Slowly, slowly, we were influenced by these people. A group of people, they were thinking whatever we are having in India, all are bad. We have to learn from the West. We lost our self-confidence, couldn't learn from the West, could not imitate them properly, and we were lost. At that time, as that was promised in the Bhagavad Gita, through his Maya, he will assume a human body and manifest his power whenever religion decline and will help men to obtain peace. The demand of the time has, O reader, actually brought this about, for the Divine Lord has, in truth, once again been born as the spiritual teacher of the world, learned with faith to his gracious message. As many faiths, so many paths. You will realize the Divine Lord through any spiritual practice performed with a sincere heart. Come, let us discuss and meditate on that holy life, free from the significant taint of lust, and thus purify ourselves. Thank you, friends. Now, this is the invitation to enter into the holy life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna.
So the first question is from Biddut Majumdar. He's asking, in Samkhya Prakriti, referring to the material world encompassing all physical and psychological aspects. My question is how philosophical aspects called as Prakriti are explained.
Friends, the Samkhya Prakriti is the nature, is the big discussion that almost like that the Vedanta say Maya. So what is Prakriti and what is Maya? In Samkhya they say Prakriti is the power, it is there but it doesn't work itself. The Purusha, the consciousness should come close to the Prakriti. And the moment it comes close, immediately all functions start to take place. So now there is the action and there is an intellectual cause. The intellectual cause is the God, they say Purusha, and the functional is the Prakriti. Vedanta, the same, the Maya, only difference between these two. Vedanta says the Maya is a part and parcel of God. Shankar says no, it is different. So for now we can understand Prakriti means that power which creates. How it creates? By covering your eyes. That is very peculiar. Covering and giving the full shape of the things that is happening. Imagination. We imagine things and we think it is true. I imagine this is my mother, this is my country, this is my religion, this is my language. Who am I actually? And then when I come to know about that, then I say, Srinnanta Vishya Amritasya Putra. I was a very little soul, selfish soul, associated with this body and whoever was connected. And the same person, when we come to the knowledge, understand and then say, everyone is nothing but my own self. This difference, ignorance in the spiritual way, that is called Prakriti. Thank you.
Second question, can Dvaita Bhava of worship lead me to him?
Of course, why not? So Dvaita Bhava is necessary because by that way we start our journey. Then after reaching over there we see, oh, this is the same thing. It is me only. It is me only. In the Vedanta, very nicely they say, what is Ishvara and what is the Jiva? The Jiva is consciousness, but covered with I, that ego. And the Ishvara is the consciousness covered with Maya. Now, let us imagine in this way that there is a consciousness covered with the small thing and the consciousness covered with the big thing. Remove the covers, Maya and ego. Consciousness remains. So I am that. So when you are starting your journey, and you must start with the duality, and then you are reaching to the supreme goal, where you will find you are that. Thank you. Okay, friends, thanks for your very intelligent and knowledgeable questions. So let us say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
রাত্রি হয়ে গেছে, খাবার আছে, খাবার